Now we're going to be talking entertainment, and I have here with me on-air personality, actor Nancy Isime. Thanks for being here today. Do you like on-air personality? Or do you like media
well,
practitioner or broadcaster?
no, not broadcaster. I mean, broadcasters, I feel like they've gone to school and they've earned that
But it's a
term.
profession.
Yeah, true that. But I think I prefer media personality and actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you dabble into all of this? Because you know there's a lot of parts to you. You know you also model, I believe.
Yes.
Do some modeling as well. There's actor. There's a TV thing. Did you dabble, or were they all deliberate moves?
Well, they weren't. Like I've said before, I like to say that it just happened by accident. You know, I wanted to be someone who worked 9 to 5. I didn't like the idea, but I wanted to live a very normal life, so to say. Not like this one is not normal, but you know, just a normal 9 to 5 life. Initially, I wanted to be a doctor, and then I said, okay, you know what, so I'm working. I studied social works, and I wanted to move to Canada and further my education.
Canada.
Then, yeah, you know, I started to live there and just be a social worker. And there was a phase I actually wanted to be a pilot. I was so fascinated by planes and really wanted to go into the aviation industry. So for modeling, it was a means to an end, you know, something to assist myself through school and just, you know, make sure I could pay my fees, I could take care of myself. Then from there, I was on stage on runway, and someone came and said, oh, I think you should come audition for a role. And I auditioned for a role in a TV series, and I got the role. And from there, it just continued. And, you know, even the presenting, a TV station came on set to come cover behind the scenes. And after my interview, they said, oh, you're well-spoken, you should come. They're having auditions for a presenter. And I went there, and I got called back for a test shoot. And then from there, I got the job, which was, I did that for about 1.5 years. And then I learned about the show trending and how they're having an audition for new presenters. And I came there, and I just feel like it probably was meant to be. So they just kind of played out a certain way.
So it looks like a lot of it just happened.
Yeah.
So how then are you enjoying it? Because I mean, it's okay for things to happen, but it's something else for you to be like, okay, I'm doing it because maybe I like the fame, or I like the money that comes with it, so I like all of the the glitz. Or are you doing it because you actually now like it?
I actually love entertainment now. I don't know if I'd been a pilot or being in Canada right now as a social worker, I probably would be miserable.
You'd be very cold. Okay, I know that for sure.
I know that for sure. But I feel like it was somehow destiny, and it just played its part. And I'm excited about the future, because I'm someone who, I've always said, I hate to be stagnant. I hate to do one thing for such a long time. I'm not like there's anything wrong with it, but I feel like as a human being, I'm very capable of doing 1,000 things if I put my mind to it. And of course, within my comfort zone, I won't say, okay, Nancy, I think you can be a great lawyer, and then I go out and start to you know, handle cases. So I feel like, you know, all these things have played out, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm having a great time, and every day I show up to work, I know for sure that this is what I was supposed to be. So
how many years since your very first acting gig?
My very first acting gig was 2012. I know it wasn't professional then. It was just, okay, how much? That's the first thing I asked, like, how much? And you were like, oh, per episode, this amount. And then I was like, okay, fine, that can take care of some of my handouts. But professionally, it was 2014, I think, when I started to get referrals. And I thought it would just come and go. You know, I always thought, okay, as a model, and I would travel, and, you know, like I said. But professionally, 2014, when I realized, okay, I was getting more referrals. Corporate houses were inviting me for closed auditions. People were talking to me as an actor, and people were recommending me for jobs, and, you know, I was getting nominations. So that's when I said, okay, you know what? I think Canada can wait. We're gonna be here. Yeah.
So the journey has been, how would you describe your journey? I mean, okay, 2014 to 2019, 4 or 5 years, I want to say. How would you say the journey has been? Has it been worth it? Has it been fun? Because we hear a lot of Nollywood stories, you know, it's not the most perfect industry in the world. I mean, it has its challenges, but it's booming as well. So how would you describe your journey?
My journey has been fantastic. I mean, all glory to God, of course. But it's been amazing because I have quite a number of awards to my name as we speak. And it's been only, I mean, people think I just came out of blues. Like I explained, I've been ushering, I've been modeling, and it's been 2009 was when I officially started working. I was 17, and it's been 10 years. And everything has just played out. Every year there's something I'm, pushing forward for, and something I'm going into and trying my best at. So the journey has been fantastic. It also excites me because I feel like, okay, there's so much more, like, the future to look forward to. Nollywood is not the most perfect industry, and as an actress, there's a certain notion about you, which is probably the most annoying thing ever, because, oh, you're an actress, okay, oh, and you meet some people and they're like, okay, Nancy, how far now, and, can you hook me up, can you connect me, and I'm just like, really, I feel like it's been fantastic, it's been amazing. There are ups and downs, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
I was actually going to come to that, so I'm glad that you actually led me there now.
Yes.
So, but this reputation thing you just mentioned, can you see where it comes from? Because there seems to be a trend for a lot of people who are on the outside watching the industry, where it's like, okay, people are going into this industry for other reasons. It may seem, and it may be a few people who are doing that. But do you see why there's that impression of actresses in the industry?
Of course, a lot of people feel like the economy is really hard, and there are different means to make money. We have the Yahoo boys, we have ritualists, we have courtists, we have prostitutes, we have, whatever you name it. There are people who are doing different things too. And I feel like this social media age and people feeling like when you're on TV, it will promote you more and put you where you want to be. I have no right to judge anybody for where they want to go to in life and where their roads are leading to. Some people feel like, or some women feel like, okay, maybe this is the best way. If I'm seen on TV, it could add to my CV. I could say, okay, you know what, you should know me. And there's been stories and stories about, in the past of Nollywood actresses. I don't know how true, I can't confirm. I haven't seen anybody, but there's been like, oh, this person has been seen with this person for whatever reason. It's also easier to lie on anybody who's on TV because, like, they can't defend themselves. Anybody can come and say, oh, Genevieve was here at this point in time, and then Genevieve cannot explain and defend herself. But for people who feel, I see in my DMs, people say, I would do whatever, Nancy, I want to be an actress, can you hook me up, can you connect me? I always say that it's that desperation that kind of puts you in the spot where people can abuse you, people can ask you out, people can try and tell you you have sex for roles because you came to the person. It's almost like a child coming to you for candy, and you say, okay, I want candy, and you have candy in your hands, and you're like, I want candy, and then you say, okay, to get this candy, you're gonna go wash the dishes and come back and get it. Yeah. So if the talent is in you, I've always said this, just be on your own lane. They will come to you.
Have you ever had an offer like that? Like a sex for role offer?
Well, I've never, because I've never.
I hear everybody has at some point. Turning it down is another thing.
Yeah, I've never really had, because, of course, in my modeling days, when you go for auditions and tons of auditions, there are casting directors who would after come and say, okay, we should go out and we should do stuff. But I always had this mentality that if something is for you, the thing about what people don't understand is the people who make the main decisions, you don't even see them. So I learned that from my modeling days, because the people who you see, the people who represent, they still take your pictures and go and submit. And these people never see you and then they choose you. Now, if you think that, okay, sleeping with this person will get you this job, if you sleep with the person and you get the job, it's one thing. It means that you were already casted for it and you fit into the brief. It had nothing to do with your reproductive parts. I don't know, from where I come from and from what I've seen, especially when you go for an audition and you go the right way. But if you don't and you still get it, it's to me, it's just something where quick fame, quick money can also push you into going and saying, okay, you know what, fine, oh, you want to date me, fine, I'll date you for this reason. Yeah. It's not wrong to date in the industry. It is not wrong to date whoever you find attractive enough, but it's never worth it. You figure out, somehow it will happen. It doesn't happen almost immediately, but be open to attending auditions. There's so many really weird people in every sector, banking, everywhere. There's weird people who just feel like women should be sexualized and should be, treated a certain way. So if you know this and you're aware of this and you just stay on your own lane and you work hard, and every audition you get and every little role you get, you go and you push and put your best into it, these people will come for you. And I just feel like it's fun to have someone call you for a role and you can say, I want this amount of money. It's so powerful, and tell them, I'm going to be on set for this number of days and, control your time and come on set as a professional.
Yeah, but besides that, besides the the interaction with those who make things happen, I want to talk about pressure now. This is even from colleagues, and I think social media has even fed the beast even more now, because there's almost, oh, look at what this person is doing. Look at the bag this person is carrying. Look at this person just bought 3 cars. I think it was what's his name, Badge Adebule. I think that's his name.
Okay.
An actor who put out a thread recently where I think I saw it on Twitter. He had been somewhere and someone said, the guy from Hush, the series, and he's like, yeah, it's like, oh, you don't even have a car. And it was something about, oh, your fellow actresses are in a better place than you are, or something along those lines. For guys, it's tough. There's the constant, and a lot of it comes from the belief that Nollywood never pays enough.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with the pressure? Because I'm sure even you are not satisfied with the sort of pay you get in the industry. How do you handle that? How do you live within your means without necessarily having to look across and think the grass is so green? Because we see Instagram, we see what happens on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's very easy to say, why am I killing myself here? So how do you handle that?
Well, first and foremostly, it's internal. It's understanding where you are. Of course, there's been times where I've seen someone else's life and said, okay, I want to, but also realizing where I come from. I don't come from a rich family. Where I am today is where I've worked hard to be, and I've understood that it takes time. I've made people who are my mentors are probably people that I read about their lives and stuck to. I understand the pressure. It's not even just about the industry. There's so many other people in different parts in different sectors who feel like, you know what, I'm not living well enough, or there's the pressure of, okay, like you said, someone who's doing better than you are. That's where I feel like for women, we kind of enjoy a little, because the responsibilities of a woman when it comes to family, there's some women who take care of their families, who are supposed to, but as a man, it's almost so important that you take care of your family, and if your family is in poverty, you alleviate them and you empower them and make sure that they get out of it. So most of these men are making money and they have to take care of girlfriends and they have to take care of family. But for women, your money is your money. And they have to also take care of themselves and look a certain way. And there's their mothers and their sisters and there's everybody. And it's also the African culture. It just doesn't come from social media. It also comes from our parents, our family as Africans. Their parents and their families who want to drive Range Rover, live in big houses because their sons and daughters are on TV, or because their sons and daughters do one or two things. I've made it clear from the very start to my family that I would do my best to support. I would do my best to be there for you and make sure that you're not hungry, your basic amenities, but I also want to take care of myself. And, I would try and make sure that I balance it very well, where everybody, you might not be the biggest man on the street, but everybody's going to be happy. So I just don't feel like the pressure comes only from social media. I also feel like it comes from families. Families should also try their best to, release or the pressure on especially male kids, just make sure it's lessened a little and let them live their lives. But the earning, the kudi in Nollywood is not as great. But if you do a couple projects, it's enough for you to save a little. You might not.
Is it enough for you?
Well, for me, because I
Are
just
you leaving?
do not.
Just to be direct, do you leave off Nollywood and being a TV presenter? Is that all you live off of?
Well, I present as well.
Okay.
A daily show. I do a TV series, which is also Tinsel. It's almost daily.
Yes.
I host events, red carpets.
Yeah.
I also act.
So you have to have multiple streams of income.
Yeah,
That's how
so there's
to do
like and then save.
Yeah.
I've learned the culture of saving from such an early age. At least 40% of the money in my account came from me saving from before. So I know how to save. I was even saving to go to Canada, so I think, if you know how to save, it will help you. If you know that I'm earning 100K or I'm earning 50K, I'm going to save 45,000 and spend 5,000. It might be hard, but when you start to ball, you don't start to ball immediately when you start working. You start to ball years after. And people are like, where did this one come from? Already balling. But it's from years of, saying, I have this amount in my account now. I can afford to, enjoy life a little, but still living within your means. But you can still wear really good clothes that don't cost a fortune and carry good bags and just living within your means and also looking good while doing it.
Do you just see the pressure? Besides Instagram now, you're on set a lot, you're on location, you interact with actresses. Maybe not even people who might necessarily be friends with you, but are there times when you feel the pressure in person? Whether it's that sort of, look at this one. Because, I'm I'm trying to put this in the right context, because I mean I see so many things. I don't want to quote names, but I see a lot of fights on social media sometimes, and I wonder, is it really this important? The material things. I'm just wondering, is this something you face? Like,
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, of course. Sometimes I see comments and they say, "Oh,
From colleagues is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, from colleagues.
Yeah.
No, really. I've never really had anybody come up to me and say, "Oh, Nancy, you should be here," or you should be living here or living there. I lived on the mainland for such a long time, and I know when I was living on the mainland, which is not wrong, but if you're familiar with the industry, if you're watching this and you're familiar with the industry, everybody say, "Oh, island," and that's not because it's a bad thing. It's because most of the things happen on the island. Coming back through third mainland, 3 a.m. is very risky. But for the longest time, I was able to stay on the mainland for about 4 or 5 years. And I just recently moved because I noticed all the shoots that I'm shooting is lucky. What's going on? I'm in traffic back and forth. So to me, and even then, people say, every time I say I need to rush home by 10 o'clock. Oh, sorry, I need to go home. They're like, you still live on the mainland? Oh, you live on the mainland? I'm like, yes, it's where I can afford to pay rent at the time. And my water is good, my light is good, my road is good, I'm fine. So until it was inside of me to say, time for me to move out. So it just all comes from you knowing if you can really be in tune with yourself, you will block out a lot. Because if you decide to even leave the entertainment industry to do something else, there's pressure everywhere. People can't help it. It comes from them. Anybody who's pressurizing you to be something else is under pressure themselves. So they just want to drag you into that. So it's just for you to just be very true to yourself and say, I'm good, I'm fine, thank you very much.
Before we go on, I want to talk about future projects. What anything we should be looking out for? Because I know you're probably any movies coming out soon or something you're working on. Are you producing your own stuff? Anything we should be looking out for?
Yeah, well, I'm working on a couple of things. I can't really talk about them right now.
Yes, you can.
But yeah, I'm working on my my personal stuff.
Nice.
I'm seeing how I can, not even the movie side at all. I'm also I'm also on projects. The best part about every year is that you get to plant seeds and they harvest sometimes the same year.
So if it's not movies, what? TV?
Yeah, definitely TV. Definitely TV.
Okay.
So the best part about planting seeds is that when you plant it this year, some will germinate that same year and some germinates the next year, and the next 2 years, and the next 3 years. So the things that I'm working on, the projects that I've worked on last year, last 2 years that are coming out this year, next year. So work. I'm a workaholic, so it makes me happy.
Aspirations? I mean, there's also a hunger now for Hollywood from a lot of people here. Is this something you think you need? Or we also have a Genevieve, for example, who has said repeatedly, I'm comfortable being an African superstar. This is where I think the action is happening. Let them come here and meet us here. But Hollywood is still Hollywood, whether you like it or not. What sort of aspirations do you have with that?
I don't think I want to act for such a long time.
For that long,
I start to aspire to Hollywood. Acting is fun, it's great, but I think at a point in time I'd like to advance into the next stage of my life. It's already resonating within me. I can't really talk about it because I don't want to put anything on print.
Still entertainment?
It definitely will still be. It won't be 9 to 5. It's still because I already have a diploma. So I'm kind of restricted unless I want to go back to school for 4 years and I'm not really into. So definitely entertainment because I definitely have a flair for it, and obviously talent has brought me this far. So definitely entertainment, but I don't know. I might say this today, don't quote me, and then in another 20 years you will see Nancy still acting, but left to me, I'd really.
Is it because you don't enjoy acting that well? Or?
I love acting. Nollywood is.
It's not your first love?
Yeah, well.
Or is it Nollywood that's a problem?
Not really like Nollywood is a problem. I love Nollywood. Nollywood is great, but like I said, I feel like I like to do a lot of things. I like to explore. I like to become better. When I was modeling and when I left modeling, I left when the applause was the loudest, when I was still attending shows abroad, in between African countries and traveling for shows and, gracing really big shows. But I just thought it was time to do something else and focus on it.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's absolutely nothing wrong. So
thank you very much, Nancy.
Yes, thank
for
you.
A very, very healthy conversation.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
I'm always rooting for you.
I know. Thank you so much, Ebuka.
Thanks a lot for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Don't just